The week before my high school graduation, my dad told me not to expect a party, a gift, or any fuss. Let's be honest, you were never the school type. A quiet dinner is plenty. 6 days later, I handed him a letter that made him put his fork down and go completely silent. I'm the oldest of two, but you'd never guess it from how invisible I was at home. My little sister, Brooke, was the family's whole world. Pretty, popular, a competitive dancer with a shelf full of trophies our parents actually dusted. When she turned 16, they flew all of us to Orlando for a themed birthday weekend and bought her a car the month she got her license. Me? I got a used bike for my 16th and a reminder to be grateful. Growing up, I learned early that nothing I did was worth noticing. When I was 11, I rebuilt a dead lawnmower engine from junk parts in the garage and got the thing roaring back to life. That same afternoon, Brooke placed third at a dance recital, and dinner was a full celebration of her ribbon. My engine? He's just messing around in the garage again. At 14, I took second at a regional robotics competition and taped the certificate to the fridge, hoping someone would say something. A week later, I found it in the recycling bin, tucked under a stack of Brooke's pageant photos. Nobody had said a single word. So when Dad handed me that speech about my graduation, something in me went quiet for good. Not sad, not angry, just finished. Here's what none of them knew. Since I was 15, I'd been fixing computers and phones around town. Cash jobs, word of mouth, every dollar going straight into an account they didn't know existed. They thought I was wasting time in my room. Meanwhile, I was quietly building something. 8 months earlier, I'd applied to Georgia Tech for engineering, alone, at midnight, using that same wasted time as my portfolio. I told no one, not my friends, not my counselor, definitely not my family. 4 months before graduation, the letter came. Full academic scholarship, tuition, housing, everything covered. They wanted me. I read it 50 times to be sure it was real. Then I folded it up and said nothing. I was waiting for the right moment. That moment was my graduation dinner. We went to Brooke's favorite restaurant, of course. Dad spent half the meal talking about her upcoming Sweet 16. Mom kept fixing Brooke's hair for photos. Brooke took selfies with her drink before she'd taken a sip. Nobody toasted me. Nobody mentioned the diploma sitting in my bag. When the waiter asked who the celebration was for, my mom laughed and said, "Oh, a little bit of everything." I sat there, ate my food, and felt absolutely nothing but calm. Then I reached into my jacket and set the folded letter on the table. "I have something to show you," I said. Dad glanced at it, mildly annoyed at the interruption. I slid it toward him. "I got into Georgia Tech. Full scholarship. They offered it 4 months ago." Dad unfolded it. I watched his eyes move across the page. His fork went down. Mom stopped mid-sentence. Brooke actually put her phone face down on the table. "4 months?" Dad said quietly. "You've had this for 4 months and said nothing?" I looked right at him. "I figured you wouldn't care. I was never the school type, right?" His face went from confused to pale. Mom's eyes filled up. "We would have made it special," she said. "We would have thrown you a—" "Thrown me what?" I said. "A party? Noticed I existed for one night without me begging?" Brooke stared down at her lap, and I saw a tear drop onto her napkin. "I'm moving out in 3 weeks," I went on, calm as ever. "I already signed a lease near campus with 2 roommates. Paid the deposit myself. With the money from all that time I supposedly wasted, my room's mostly packed." Dad opened his mouth, then closed it. "Son, we can fix this. There's nothing to fix," I said, standing up. "I just wanted you to hear it from me. The kid who wasn't worth a graduation dinner is going to one of the best engineering schools in the country." I walked out to my car. Behind me, I heard Brooke whisper, "We really messed up." She was right. Dad called my name in the parking lot, his voice cracking on the second syllable. I didn't turn around. I'd spent 18 years being background noise in my own house. I was finally done waiting to be heard.